What's up? It's your boy, and I'm back with another video, man. And you already know what I need you to do. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell, because it does go a long way with helping out the channel. If this is your first time, I already know why you're here. You're tired of releasing on your keyboards, your laptop, and your desktops, and you're tired of being manipulated and dominated by female culture. You are in the right place. I'm excited about this video today, man. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hot coals. Today's video is about hot coals, man. So we're going to be coming out of the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verses 27 and 29. Here's what it says. You cannot carry hot coals against your chest without burning your clothes. And you cannot walk on hot coals without burning your feet. The same is true if you have sexual relations with another man's wife. This is basically saying, man, you can't play with fire and not expect to be burnt. See, what the devil likes to do is he likes to give you a false sense of security. Remember, I did a video not too long ago about the Lord's eyes being 10,000 times brighter than the sun. He says that no one can see him, but the Lord sees him in high definition. When you play with hot coals, you're going to get burnt. When you play with pornography, when you play with lust, when you're flirting with people you shouldn't be flirting with, when you're having those little sexual innuendos and you're doing these things, you're flirting, you're trying to handle hot coals. But the Bible says, can a man play with hot coals? Can a man walk on hot coals and his feet not be burned? It's impossible. It's impossible to walk on hot coals and your feet not be burnt. Bro, you're going to get burnt. You're going to get burnt. And when you get burnt, bro, it's not a good feeling. How does one get burnt? One can get burnt by being exposed and getting embarrassed and being put to shame. It can lead to a divorce. It can lead to, your children being, destroyed. It can lead to your death. It can lead to sexual disease. It can lead to a lot of different things, but whatever that burnt is, it's not going to be a very comfortable thing. Not only are you receiving the physical implications of your sin, but you are spiritually entangling yourself and making life much, much harder. The Bible says you cannot carry hot coals against your chest without burning your clothes. You're going to burn your clothes. And you cannot walk on hot coals without your feet being burnt. See, a lot of you guys are playing with lust. You're putting confidence in the flesh. You think you are strong spiritually. You think that you're above and beyond having to be careful of what you say, who you say it to, who you have a relationship with, where you go, what you listen to, what you watch with your eyes. You think you're strong. You think you're above falling into sin. And you're playing with hot coals. And the Bible says you can't escape. You can't escape being burnt. You are going to get burnt if you play with fire. You're going to get burnt. You are going to get burnt. A lot of you guys are watching this video. You've been burnt. I've been burnt. I've played with the hot coals and I got burnt. And I'm going to tell you something, man. It is not a good feeling. Being burnt is not a good feeling because no matter how you get burnt, whether it's on your conscience is seared, whether you're publicly put to shame, whether you get some type of disease, whether you have a child that you wasn't expecting to have, whether somebody's having your funeral because you're no longer here, because some man avenged himself against you. You can't play with hot coals and not get burnt. This is where wisdom comes into play. The Bible says that the fool says in his heart, there is no God. See, the reason the Bible calls this man a fool is because it's not that he doesn't know there is a God. He's a fool because he knows and he denies that there is a God. Meaning he has the knowledge and he has the understanding, but he refuses to walk in the light. He refuses to walk in the light of who God is. See, being a fool is having knowledge of something and refusing to accept the knowledge of it. Being ignorant is just not knowing at all. You're just ignorant. So when you're playing with hot coals, when you're flirting, when you're watching pornography, when you're listening to music that's causing your behavior to become more and more sexually suggestive, you're not ignorant of what you're doing. You know full well what you're doing, but you're denying the knowledge. You're denying the truth that if you continue to do this, you're going to get burned. You're denying the truth that this is inappropriate behavior. You're denying the truth. You're not ignorant. So you're a fool because you know the truth, but yet you're making a conscious decision to go against it. Proverbs 6:25. Can you carry hot coals against your chest and not be burned? The answer is no. I'm going to read from 27 to 35. And it says this. Let's see what we can get out of this passage. It says, don't desire her because, this is verse 25. Don't desire her because she is beautiful. Don't let her capture you by the way she looks at you. This is Proverbs 25, starting in verse 25. Don't let her capture you by the way she looks at you. You know that look. A prostitute will treat you like a loaf of bread, and a woman who takes part in adultery may cost you your life. A prostitute will treat you like a loaf of bread. Hot coals. And a woman who takes part in adultery may cost you your life. Hot coals. You're going to get burnt. You cannot carry hot coals against your chest without burning your clothes. And you cannot walk on hot coals without burning your feet. The same is true if you have sexual relations with another man's wife. Anyone who does so will be punished, meaning you're not going to escape. Maybe you thought you escaped. Maybe you thought that there wasn't a price to pay. There's a price. God's eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun. He sees you. Man may not see you, but God sees you. And again, we had an amazing revelation from this Bible passage in my last video, 10,000 times brighter than the sun, is that you do these sins in the dark because you fear man, but you don't fear God, whose eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Verse 30, people don't hate a thief when he steals because he is hungry. But if he is caught, he may pay back 7 times what he stole, and it may cost him everything he owns. See, when you're doing these evil things, when you're doing these things that go against God, when you're doing these things that go against what's morally right, When you get found out, when what you've stolen is put to light and people can see it and people know it, it says it may cost him everything he owns to rectify that situation. A man who takes part in adultery has no sense. He will destroy himself. A man who takes part in adultery has no sense. He will destroy himself. He will be beaten and disgraced, and his shame will never go away. See, if you're playing with these married women out here, man, it says that your shame will never go away. It says that you will be beaten up and disgraced. It's a stain that just resides on you. It's a shame, bro. It says jealousy makes the husband very angry, and he will have no pity when he gets revenge. See, the Bible is true. If you are committing adultery, that man will never have pity on you. He will never have pity on you. He will not relent until you are utterly destroyed. Because this is divine justice. It says in verse 35, he will accept no payment for the wrong. He will take no amount of money. You won't have enough money that you can offer this man to fix what you've done. The disgrace, the agony of the betrayal will never allow this man to accept any payment, because it's deeper than that. And that's what happens, man, when you listen to a lot of this rap music. It's so feminine. It's a feminine thing to brag about sleeping with another man's wife or another man's girl. It's feminine, bro. It means you have no morals. It means you have no ethics. It's no wonder everybody in the hood is snitching on each other. If a man can't expect the covenant between a man and his wife, what makes you think he's going to respect a G code of not snitching when he's put into a sticky situation and he's down at the DA? You can't trust a man like this because he's all for himself. He's all for himself. Now, I know we've all made mistakes. I made mine. But when you are confronted with your mistakes, we have to do what King David did. Psalms 51. He says, Lord, have mercy on me according to your steadfast love. According to your abundant mercy, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity and cleanse me from my sin. David tore his clothes with sackcloth and ashes. He repented. He turned away from his sin. We all fall short. No one's perfect. So I'm not coming at you in that regard. I can't. But what I am doing is highlighting what the Bible says is true, which is you cannot play with fire and not expect to be burned. If you play with fire knowing that you're going to be burned, then you are a fool. You are a fool because you're not ignorant that you can be burned like a child would be. If a child was to see a hot coal and pick it up, he's ignorant. He doesn't know that it's hot. But you, fully mature grown man who have life experiences, you know this is wrong and you do it anyway. You know watching porn is going to cause you to continue to be more sexually perverse, can cause you to be more immoral in your thinking, to cause you to be more lustful, which is going to heighten the chance of you crossing the threshold of entertaining adultery. But you're a fool. You're not ignorant, you're a fool. Because you're rejecting the truth. And you're causing your life to be more difficult than what it is. And you're not putting things in the proper perspective. Guys, you got to watch what you allow to enter into your ear gates. Sleeping with other men's wives is not something you want to brag about. And it's bragged about a lot in today's music. And I just never understood why that would be something to brag about. I never understood it. Because it shows that you don't have loyalty. And the hood is supposed to be based off of loyalty. But if you can't be based off of loyalty in respecting God's ordinance of holy matrimony, you can't be loyal in any other capacity. This is the ultimate covenant relationship. And if you don't respect that, you're not going to respect any other relationship, because all other relationships outside of marriage is a lesser union. It's a lesser union. Guys, you can't play with hot coals and your feet not be burnt. It says that you will be disgraced. You will be disgraced. When you watch porn, when you engage in these sexual exploits, masturbation, all of these demonic rituals, you're opening up the door for any and every type of sin. You're opening up the door for any and every type of sin to flood your life, to make your life miserable, to make your life a living hell, to make your life tough. Again, this is giving your strength unto women. It says, don't desire her because she is beautiful. The Bible is not denying that she's beautiful. What the Bible is asking from you is to be prudent, to be a man of wisdom, to be a man of understanding. It says, don't let her capture you by the way she looks at you. See, women give you that lustful look. You can get it. It belongs to you. I'm yours for the taking. And they look at you with these eyes and this very seductive, sexually suggestive way they communicate with the body language. And you go for it. It's like a lion preying on an antelope. You don't know what's about to happen. You cannot walk on hot coals and your feet not be burnt. Man, this is Holding Us Podcast, man. I'm going to holler at you guys in the next video. Peace.